Thanks for tuning in live to Toronto Business Summit, the largest business marketing event in Canada. And now your host, Max Carter.
All right, welcome everyone. Today I'm joined with Marcos Mendoza, and he's a performance speaker and former operations manager at Think and Grow Rich Institute. Well, I'm excited to dive into this topic today, and he's sharing some valuable information about staying motivated while growing your business and actually how to sustain that healthy mindset when going through difficult times in business and your hustle. So let's dive in, Marcus, shall we?
We shall. How's it going?
Oh, excellent. How is your day?
Everything's going really well. I'm having a super productive morning, feeling positive, feeling uplifted, having just finished a mastermind call, and I'm feeling like I'm really a part of something really special with these individuals that I'm helping out to reach their goals on a daily and weekly basis. So it's feeling really good.
Yeah, how we connected with Marcus is I've seen some videos of him on Facebook, and they actually inspired me that day. So I thought, well, this is the guy we should have on Toronto Business Summit. So here we are with Marcus.
Yeah, I appreciate that. The videos are doing really well. Holding the title as a two-time public speaking champion has opened a lot of doors because people have started to recognize that the content comes from a very profound place of experience. So releasing the speech compilation with the 17 speeches, having the background that I have with Think and Grow Rich, building on my own businesses, leaving my day job, transitioning into a dream job, working from anywhere in the world, like all of these elements of how I've manifested the pieces of my life to look how I've always dreamt for it to look is really getting to a lot of people as something that's possible. So that's where I think that a lot of people are starting to acknowledge that anybody who's an ordinary individual with extraordinary dreams can actually start to shift the way that they live their lives as long as you follow the formulas that have been provided for you. Now, I say formulas because I use an analogy about recipes. To be able to create success in anything that I do. So, for example, if you want to bake a cake, you're going to research the type of cake that you want to bake, and then you're going to get a trusted source to teach you how to make that cake. You're going to download the recipe, and then you're going to go purchase all the ingredients, and then follow the steps by that trusted source so that you can essentially manifest in reality the actual cake itself that looks good, smells good, and tastes absolutely delicious. It's the exact same principles with any type of success that you want to accomplish within the way that you set your goals, right? So these formulas or recipes that I've been applying into my life have been working for me in extraordinary ways, and that the end result of you seeing that video, the end result of teaching these courses, the end result of manifesting all this abundance is because all I did was follow the formulas or the recipes.
And these formulas, they come from Think and Grow Rich as an institute. Where did you get these formulas, or did you perfect them yourself?
So the formulas come from every source. So let's just say the I'm possible speech. Mm-hmm. The I'm possible speech is the word impossible should be pronounced I'm possible, and I broke it down into 10 words that all have a positive impact on the way that I live my life. So impossible, let's say you break it down as an acronym: imagination, motivation, potential, optimism, sacrifice, skills, initiative, belief, love, and education. Now let's talk about each word. Imagination. There's a chapter in Think and Grow Rich on imagination. Once you understand the practical use of the knowledge shared within that philosophy, you can develop your formula on how to manifest the power of your imagination. Motivation. One of the gurus of motivation is Tony Robbins. What does Tony Robbins say about motivation? You get the formula based on his concept of motivation, and then you apply that into what it is that your goals are all about. Potential, peaks potential. T. Harv Eker talks a lot about potential. Figure out how his outlook on potential is and how you can maximize on your potential. Optimism, sacrifice, skills, initiative, belief, love, education. All of these elements, these words within the acronym for the I'm possible, has now become a series of formulas that I can use to reach my maximum potential. So the formulas come from whatever resources you find to be credible enough to be able to be used so that you can apply them into the way that you set your own goals.
Mm-hmm. And
right?
for to give some actionable things maybe our listeners can implement into their lives and into their businesses. There's certainly these days when you feel like crap and there's no motivation, whatever, to move forward. But and these days can turn into weeks and then months for some businesses. What do you think? What are some key actionable maybe steps everyone can take during their days and during these down moments?
I'm really glad you asked that, because everybody around the world has been introduced to these attraction principles that are defined under this title of The Secret, right? So a lot of people talk, what's the secret to success, or what's the secret, you know, and we've been introduced to the law of attraction, and the law of attraction and the power of the law of attraction, which is absolutely wonderful. However, the law of attraction is just one of the laws amongst many. There's the law of substitution, there's the law of compensation, there's so many laws in mindset principles. So what I would like to introduce you to, and everybody that's watching this, is in order for you to develop a healthy mindset so that you can continue to apply the success principles, formulas, and ideologies towards goal setting and manifestation, you're going to have to understand these three things. Number one, your conscious mind. Number two, your subconscious mind. And number three, the filter that operates in between your conscious thoughts and your subconscious thoughts. So I'm just going to elaborate a little bit on what that means. So your conscious thoughts interprets information based on your senses. You can call it your 5 senses, you could call it your 6 senses. Some people even acknowledge that there's 10 senses. For now, we'll use the 6 senses, okay? So the way that you process data every moment of every day, as you process your 50,000 thoughts every single day, is going to be accumulated through the way that you perceive, the way that you feel, based on how your senses are sending information to your brain, right? So let's say 50,000 thoughts a day are being processed, and you're processing smells, you're processing what you see, you're processing what you hear, you're processing what you say. You know, there's all of your senses activating, you're processing your intuitive thoughts. All of these processes are sending information to your brain. Once it reaches your brain, your conscious thought, let's say, it goes through a filter. And your filter is what is essentially the most important part of your conscious and subconscious transaction, because your filter is what's going to filter what thoughts manage to reach and penetrate and permeate your subconscious mind. Now check this out. Your subconscious mind doesn't understand logic or reason. Your subconscious mind responds to whatever it is that you give it. However, considering that principle as a fact, your subconscious mind is only going to respond to how you feel. So a lot of people want to monitor their thoughts. Let's try not to monitor our 50,000 thoughts per day, and instead let's try to monitor our feelings instead. So this secret that everybody talks about is actually thoughts become things. Mm-hmm. Considering thoughts become things, what's the formula behind thoughts become things? Well, first we think, then we do, and then we become what we are. So thoughts, feelings, and actions. Considering thoughts, feelings, and actions are the formula to how we filter out our thoughts from our conscious to our subconscious mind. Consider that your subconscious mind is always going to respond to how you feel. Not how you think, but how you feel. So when you're processing thoughts on a daily basis, the power of affirmations is based on how you think and what you say to yourself and to the world. You're filtering only positive words. You're filtering only positive emotions. So your subconscious mind receives that, and then you start to plant seeds in your subconscious mind, which you can utilize as a garden of abundance and prosperity. The problem is that a lot of people treat their subconscious mind as something that they don't even acknowledge, because they think that it's their conscious mind that is operating their lives. Your conscious mind is facilitating the way that you operate, but your subconscious mind is facilitating how you manifest. So, if your subconscious mind is consciously being treated, unconsciously being treated, and I say consciously and unconsciously because it's a dual process, if your subconscious mind is being treated like a garden of abundance and prosperity, then imagine yourself, through vision, planting seeds of positive feelings and positive words. You're going to start to manifest an abundance of seeds that are going to fertilize and essentially going to create more roots, deep-rooted roots in your subconscious garden that will allow you to sit and bask into the fertilized knowledge of abundance that will continue to bring you prosperity in your life. But it all starts with ensuring that you do not poison the crop.
Right.
It all starts with ensuring that you are fertilizing positive thoughts. So when we're building our businesses, when we're building relationships, when we're operating on a daily basis, it's imperative that we consciously not try to monitor 50,000 thoughts, but actually start to process good feeling thoughts so that we can affirm to ourselves the things that we truly believe. And that delves into a whole other conversation around belief, which is, do you actually believe that which you're feeling? Do you actually believe that which you are affirming? And how do you set the beliefs? Well, your core beliefs come from your values. So do you value that which you aspire to achieve? Do you value that which you aspire to become? Do you value that which you've gone through to become who you are today? Are you certain and clear on that which you want to accomplish and manifest? All of these principles, it sounds like a lot, but it all happens in an instant when you make a decision. And decisions are the roots of choices. So we all have a choice to feel good or feel bad, to feel right or feel wrong, to say yes or to say no, right? We have those choices. But once we make the decisions that are in alignment with the values, our core beliefs are what enable us to truly say and feel and act in alignment with the thoughts that we're going to process through our conscious into our filter, so that our subconscious minds can always be essentially seeping through all of this abundant and prosperous thought processes that will enable us to unconsciously act in a way that is constantly manifesting people, places, things, and events that are in alignment with how we actually feel on a daily basis.
I'm trying to find these key actionable techniques maybe that they can use to improve the day, to get on track. What do you think they can do? Aside of harvesting only good thoughts of staying positive.
So I have something ready to share with you and with the audience that I believe is going to be the most profound lesson that you could probably learn today. Okay, so amongst all of the other great people that are sharing knowledge, amongst all the great information that you're going to learn throughout your day, this principle can change everything for you, okay? Mm-hmm. And it comes from Think and Grow Rich in the chapter of overcoming adversity and defeat. And it doesn't get mentioned a lot, but it's going to, I'm telling you right now, it'll change everything. And it's a principle that is known as ASR, the Auto Success Reflex. Now, the reason why this is such a profound principle and such a profound way of thinking is because of the power that it has to shift your mindset when you're dealing with adversity or defeat. Let me explain. ASR stands for Auto Success Reflex. If you've ever been to a doctor and you've had a reflex hammer bumped on your knee, you know that your knee bounces back up, correct?
Yeah.
Why? Because every fiber, bone, nerve, muscle, skeleton in your body is programmed to respond on that impact. It's bound to respond on that impact, correct? Well, you can train your mind to have that same kind of reflex whenever you're dealt with a problem or a challenge. So what the ASR principle does, and this takes practice, but once you start to harness it, it's an incredible thing to live by because problems are happening all the time. Check this out. Every problem is an opportunity to develop a solution. Mm-hmm. Imagine taking that on, that every problem is really just disguised as an opportunity to develop a solution. Now we're thinking with a solutions-based mindset, not a chaotic, problematic-based mindset. The majority of us have a bad experience with a customer and they think that we're in trouble or they think that they did something wrong and they start to think of all the negative things that are going to occur from this problem. Well, you can actually transform that way of looking at it. That problem that you're dealing with that customer is actually an opportunity for you to develop something within your business practice or the way that you communicate that will give you the opportunity to develop a solution, right? If your business matters to you, then you're going to indefinitely find a solution around that problem because you want that customer to come back or still refer your business to somebody else. So consider that every problem, relationships, business, whatever it is, every problem is an opportunity to develop a solution when you apply the Auto Success Reflex into the way that you process thoughts. Now, with 50,000 thoughts a day, of course we're going to have maybe 40,000 of those thoughts are going to be a negative challenge or circumstance. I don't feel like exercising today. Fine. Develop the opportunity to find a solution in how you can exercise, or find the fact that you don't want to exercise today and do something else productive with your time. But don't beat yourself up because you don't want to exercise. Don't make it a problem. Don't make it hard on yourself. Rather, make it easy for yourself to come to terms with what else is available for you within that solution-based mindset. So that principle alone, I truly believe, it's transformed everything in my life because I don't have problems. Now I only have opportunities all the time. And it sounds like something that is, oh, but what about the really heavy problems? Same principle applies. The really heavy problems, doesn't matter. A problem is a problem. A problem is something that disrupts the clarity and peace of mind of how you function on a daily basis. As long as it does that, then you can always choose, make a decision to look at it as an opportunity to develop a solution.
Yep. And it's true with business as well, because every pain, every problem a customer has is a perfect opportunity to create a business, and the most successful companies do just that. They solve problems, they solve pains, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's perfect, Marcus. Is there any recommendation? What should listeners maybe that have motivation problems, or maybe are going through these times where they need help, or think that things should run more smoother in their businesses, or where should they turn right now?
Well, there's a million and one ways, a million and one places to go. I guess I would say I'm going to go back to formulas and recipes. Mm-hmm. If you're in business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a startup, if you're an entrepreneur, whatever it is that you're doing in your business, you're going to have to learn to find a source that keeps you grounded and motivated by example. So who is it? Who's doing what you're doing? Who has what you have? You're going to start to study those. You're going to have to start to study those people. Yes, it's your business, but your business is impacting the world. So you have to take into consideration that the way that you operate as an individual and as a corporation or as a business is going to be a part of the community of the world. So I would suggest finding somebody that you can replicate, somebody that you can study, somebody that you can mold your life mission around, so that you can start to develop the formulas and recipes around how you want to live your life, what you want to accomplish, what you aspire to be, and what you aspire to do for others. And it's been done. Whatever you're trying to do, it's been done in one way or another. And that comes down to the conversation of recycling information. Mm-hmm. The only reason that you can build a sustainable business is because there was a business prior to your business that was built successfully as well. And those principles got shed onto you, and you apply the same, if not minor differences in the way that you apply your business, but ultimately business is business, right? So find a formula, find a recipe, find a source that you can model yourself after, so that you can start to build on your business practice based on the image of that which you know exists, because it's something that's already prevalent and something that's evidently there for you to essentially live by.
So basically start with where do you want to go, and then you'll find a way how to get there, right?
Well, that's a very important thing that you just said. Where do you want to go and find a way? So a lot of people, it's been said that 98% of the planet aren't aware of their definite major purpose. And why is that? That's because they don't know what they want and why they want it. Essentially, when I say what and why, I mean one thing. What is the one ultimate thing that you want? And why is it? Why, right? So we're talking about definite major purpose, and we're talking about a burning desire, right? The starting point to all achievements, right? So consider the fact that you may know what you want, but you may not know how to get it. Consider that a great place to be, and I'll tell you why. Because when you know exactly what you want, you start to think, act, and feel in alignment with that which you want, and the way always just presents itself. Because you become a present human being that is in the act of feeling, thinking, and doing that which you know feels best for you. And obviously, just because of the way that you're living, the way that you're thinking, the way that you're feeling, the road starts to make itself available to you. The fog starts to clear up, and the how becomes completely irrelevant, because the how figures itself out always when you already know what it is that you want. So let's take into consideration the principle of the analogy of walking. Just walking, just taking one step forward, one step after the other. What do you want? I want to walk. Fine. Where do you want to walk? I want to walk forward. Fine. How are you going to walk? It doesn't matter. I just know that I need to walk. Why do you want to walk? Because I have a burning desire to walk. I'm passionate. I want to experience what it's like to move forward using my feet, right? Okay, I don't know how to walk. Then you find a formula. How did that person learn how to walk? How did that person learn how to get there? How did that person get to where they're going, et cetera, et cetera? And in that principle of walking forward, you don't need to know how. You essentially need to know what. And in the what and the why, the how figures itself out, because you have this compelling, burning desire to just walk, right? And that's as basic as it can get with an analogy, as an example. You know, when you want to walk, you just walk. It doesn't matter your steps, your balance, everything will figure itself out, right? Now let's recap. Let's say this conscious and subconscious and the filter. If you're telling your conscious mind, oh, but I don't know how to walk. Oh, but I'm never going to walk. Oh, but I don't know how to use my feet. Oh, but I don't know how to keep my balance. But I don't, and I can't, and I shouldn't, and I'm scared. Filter. Goes into your subconscious. Your subconscious permeates your entire being, because you feel like you can't do it. You feel like it's not possible. You feel like it's not going to work. And what ends up happening? You don't end up doing anything, right? Your filter just acted as the most loose source to penetrate and permeate your subconscious mind, and now you're hurting yourself, and you're not even going to be able to get that goal which you wanted so bad, you were so passionate about. And then you want to apply something else? Okay, there's a problem here. I don't know how to walk. There's a problem here. Auto-success reflex. What is the opportunity here that I can develop this problem into a solution, right? How can I learn how to walk? Who can help me? Who can I ask? What resource can I activate? Should I just take the risk and go for it anyway and then see what happens from that? Opportunity thinking, solution-based mindset. So that's ASR, conscious, subconscious, and the filter, formulas and recipes, definite major purpose, burning desire, all into one example of how you can take these principles and apply them into your business.
This has been a terrific talk. And just to wrap this up, how can our listeners get more in touch with you and learn more from what you do and see your stuff?
So what I do is you can visit my website, which is www.lifestreamsoundtrack.com. And that's my business as an entrepreneur. I built a business where I create customized soundtracks of people's lives. That's what I thoroughly enjoy doing. So considering I've been winning all these awards writing speeches, I started to write speeches of other people's lives, so they can essentially experience a perfect Christmas gift or a birthday gift or an anniversary or a celebration of purchasing a new home. Rather than just giving them a card, you give them the soundtrack of their life. It's called the gift of acknowledgement. So you acknowledge people, and I write these speeches about people's lives. So that's actually what my business is on a daily basis. The public speaking and the performance speaking happens whenever I put on a big event. I produce these really big seminars for 500 to 1,000 people, and that happens once every 3 to 6 months, right? But I think that the best way to actually be engaged into what I'm doing is Facebook. Okay. You can add me on Facebook. I accept everybody. I have open network. I share videos. I share content. I'm constantly producing for the world. So just add me on Facebook at Marcos Mendoza or facebook.com/I am Marcos Mendoza.
All right. And I'll share these in show notes as well. All right. Thank you, Marcos, for being with us today, and enjoy your day.